I'm down to my last loop, and I'm going to finish it up the same as I did all the way around by inserting this end of the wax linen through and pulling it through. About here. Make it a little bit not quite so wide. Okay, we're starting the second round, and you're going to continue around for each row the same as we do here. This time, instead of going around the rope here, we are going to come through the first loop. So we'll pull this loop out just a little bit to make it easier to slide through. Come on. It's not that hard. Okay. And this comes through this loop. And begins your next row. Again, we go into the next loop, and pull down, and you note it's coming out between the loops here. Alright, you can leave the loop wide like this. You can pull it tight if you want to make more of a tight loop. It's up to you. I kind of like a little bit of a loop left on mine. You can pull down, which will stretch this out and make the loops a little bit wider. So that's pretty much it for knotless netting. We're going to keep coming around through each loop, going all the way around the gourd. Now you can add embellishments. If you want to add a shell or something else, it needs to be punched so that it, or have actual natural loops, such as some seashells do, have some actual holes through that you can weave the wax linen through. This is a nice little shell. It has a hole in it already, and so what I'm going to do is just thread the wax linen through, because I want to use it this time as an embellishment. I'll just let it hang and use the end to go in through the next loop. Pull it through, and there I have my first embellishment on the gourd. I'm going to go around and finish the gourd. When I come to the point I want to leave an opening, I will stop and refilm that for you. It makes it more interesting if you don't just cover the entire thing with solid netting. Adds a lot more interest and character to the gourd if you will leave a few gaps here and there. So I will work around, and I will be back in just a second. I've decided I want to put an open space right after the first shell that I added to the gourd. So what I do, instead of coming into the next loop here, I will skip enough loops to where it gives me the amount of open space that I want. I think I need about this much, so that would make it coming into this gourd loop right here. What I will do is just continue on, by coming into the top of the loop. This one's a little stuck to the gourd there. Into the top of the loop, bringing it down and pulling. Okay, I want it about that open. I'm going to be adding loops along here on my next row. And as you can see, I'm just about out of thread, so I'm going to cut off another length of the wax linen and start over. I just continue around through the next loops and on around the gourd.